It's your boy Conserviz 34. Just wanted to give a quick reaction to the set list for opening night for the Dave Matthews Band summer tour. Summer is technically not here yet, but we call it the summer tour. Pensacola, Florida was supposed to be the second date on the tour. Something in the water got canned, so here we go, Pensacola. So shout out to my boy John Dix, who definitely was sharing information, passing pictures along, and giving live feedback from the show. I know he had a great time down there, got a set list, so shout out to him. But I just wanted to give some thoughts about the set. Now, disclaimer: I'm not there. I didn't hear much of the music. I heard some of the live stream from was it Rab, and I saw some clips here and there of different moments of the show. So I can't talk about how the band sounded per se because I'm listening through it from my cell phone, also listening through my computer. So I don't know how the band sounds overall because I wasn't there. But I just have some thoughts about the set list. And you know, I am someone who critiques the set list. I give my opinions. But today, I have to defend those who don't like the set list complainers. Okay. This show for Pensacola was a good show set wise when I look just at it without emotions, without being there, looking at the set. Okay. This set was good because you had a couple songs that you don't really get that frequently. So when we go down the line, let's take a look at what Concert Biz 34 thinks is a decent set for something like a Pensacola stop. Okay. Give me two songs that are rarely played, not really out there in rotation, and I'm happy. It's Pensacola, Florida. Tickets were $6 an hour before the show. We get that here. All right. Song number one, Raven. Funky Raven. Look, the last time they played Raven, it cost you about $5,000 to $8,000. You had to listen to it in Mexico. They played it three times in entire 2018 and only a couple times in 2017 as well. This is a rarity in 2019, and they got it. They got it with Buddy Strong being funky. Buddy Strong leading that on. Now I was not there, but again, getting the commentary from John Dix. Shout out to you, my guy, giving me the inside information. It was a slower, smoother version of it because with Buddy he slows down the tempo. I love that. Okay, song number two, Best of What's Around. Okay, Boa, not played that much, hardly played at all, and it was played here for this tour stop. Those are two songs that aren't played that often that we got. Okay, then you throw in the stuff that we do like that are just stuff that is more common, but you still when you get it, you're happy. Dancing Nancy, love getting that. We have a second slot, Gray Street. So the second song of the show is Gray Street. And Gray Street is a song that when you move it from the end of the show to something at the top of the show, I've always loved that. It's always a great thing when you have a Gray Street at the beginning of a show. Even certain jogs I do, certain half marathons and marathons I ran, I've had Gray Street at the beginning. Every fall, Gray Street is like track two as I'm running through the beautiful foliage here in New England. So another great thing about this set, just looking at the set, you get a too much after Gray Street. Obviously, this set is very top heavy because after you get the Raven, you get a stand up. Now, 41 I like, but then you get Sledgehammer, which I like, what some people don't like. Then you get Samurai Cop, Bayou, Heron Out's great. And then you do get Nancy's in the stay, but then you get Space Between She every day. And then Ants gives it a nice ending of the first set. But I think that still, this is Pensacola, Florida. Now, some of the chatter online, I've already been talking and debating on DNB Family. Some of the talk online from just a minority of the setlist complainers is, oh, they got to play out the catalog. Oh, this is a horrible. They ended with Shake Me Like a Monkey. Look, I would not wish Shake Me Like a Monkey to close out any show of my worst enemy. Okay. I just don't think it's a good song to end the show on. They should have ended on Boa. They should have ended with a song that's more of a journey. Shake Me Like a Monkey is quick, easy. It's saying, I'm mailing this in and I'm getting ready for tomorrow in Jacksonville. That's what that tells me. But that's what you should expect in the Gulf Coast region. They did this last time in Orange Beach, Alabama. They don't close out the gorge with Shake Me Like a Monkey. They don't close out SPAC with Shake Me Like a Monkey. Of course, it's a mail-in song. Hey, we got to get the tour buses running. We got a show tomorrow. But at the same time, For what this show was, they got a good set. Okay. What people have to realize is this band telegraphs how are they going to play a certain set. First off, again, they're not going to play out the catalog like um, the Grateful Dead or um, any other band you can think of. Okay, they're not going to do that. They're not. That's not who they are. So you don't expect that. Number two, when they play somewhere that is not popular, when tickets are $6 to get in a couple hours before, you're they're not gonna do the crazy stuff. John Deeks back at the hotel motel Holiday Inn, and he's saying there were zero hardcore fans in attendance. If you look on my Twitter, I shared some of the photos John sent me, and people are sitting down, folks. People are sitting at this show, and that's okay. This is not. This is more like a Europe fan base than it is an American fan base because the people are showing up. Hey, I'm in Pensacola. There's nothing to do but be on the news for being a Florida man who. Wait, DMB fan. It closed out SPAC Night 2 in 2014. What? What? Huh? That's horrible. That's horrible. But SPAC, was that July 4th? Was that the July 4th one? Was that July? Did they play on July 4th? Let me check that. Was that one of the July 4th show or when they were playing? Let me see. So they did close it out. Okay, so they closed out SPAC Night 2 there in 2014. Oh no, that wasn't July 4th. I think that was the year before that. So we had that was back DNBC, so 531. Let's take a look. Wait, no, they. Oh, I'm looking at Maine. I'm looking at Bangor, Maine. They did. Oh my gosh. Oh, whew. So they did Squirm and to Shake Me Like a Ooh. Yeah. They did have a pig to open up the set. Say goodbye, I so right. Drive in, drive out. So hey, if you left early, yeah, 5:31. Okay. That was not for Wow. Anyway, I mean, okay, so that is an anomaly there, but they still had a crazy set before that. But yeah, wouldn't wish that on anyone there. But at the same time, again, this is the first show of the tour. Okay, the band, unless they like Hartford 2010 is a unicorn, Columbus of last year is a unicorn. Usually, when they start off tours in the South, they don't really do anything crazy. They'll bring back a song or two and you're like, yay, that's awesome. But the real big moments don't come towards stop one. And that's, I think, what people are not realistic about. You're expecting this band for when John Dix is saying there's no hardcore fans here. You think they're going to play Shotgun? We already went over this. 2016, okay? We're in Wichita, Kansas, middle of nowhere, okay? All they have is the Wichita State Shockers. And they're not even good anymore in basketball. They were good back then in 2016. They were like upsetting all these teams playing a cupcake schedule and then, went pretty good in the tournament. They don't even have that anymore. That's all they had back there in 2016 is the basketball team. And they play Shotgun. The people in the crowd, if you look at the video of that Shotgun, people are like, huh? Huh? Who is this? We want satellite. What the heck is this? So you expect people expecting them in Pensacola to play crazy Monkey Man or Dreaming Tree, or have Bella in on a two-step for the first, like for Pensacola. They had deals on Ticketmaster for like $35 tickets to Pensacola. There were $6 tickets, $29 tickets in the lower level next to the stage a couple hours before the show. So you think they're gonna do that? No. Now I'm gonna stop. That's all I'm gonna say is we gotta be realistic, okay? All right. I think this was a good set. John, we talked about this before. We said, all right, what are we gonna expect from Pensacola? I said it's probably gonna be like That Girl Is You starting it off. There was no That Girl Is You. There's no Satellite. There's no Don't Drink the Water. Okay, and John saying the upper would be the lower in most venues, so the place was really small, right? And there's only an upper level on the sides. The lower level, end zones or the court, the baskets where they would be, or the hockey goals, those ends were there was no upper deck, right? And John saying it didn't even fill up. So that I mean that's maybe 5K. All right, yeah. So that's I mean again, the people expecting the band to go crazy. It just is that John. Did you experience anything like as far as the sound? Is there anything different, or do they sound like 2018? Like as far as you're right there by the stage. Did they is like is Tim turned down? Is there less horn, more horn? Okay, so you said Raven was slow. Yeah, I brought that up before you came on. So Raven was slower with the buddy intro. Okay, I'm glad they still have that. Thank God. Like, hey, that work. Hey, band, you remember you were jazzy? Okay, so it's loud AF in arena style. Okay, so they are still in that arena rock YouTube. So nothing was smooth. Okay, so they didn't have any Flavor Flav. All right, so I mean that's something we'll see what happens with that. I don't like that arena rock direction that they go, but hopefully, they bring in with the time of the season and with more rhythm and more time together, they get this. So nothing was smooth. Overall, John, do you think it was worth the trip? Like to be there, first show, in a very intimate venue. Do you think it was worth the trip, taking the time off, taking the flight, going through TSA? Okay, so it's definitely worth it. Potentially being attacked by an alligator or some Florida man with a weapon. Okay, got nothing to lose. Got nothing to lose. Okay, so he thinks it was worth it, and yeah, maybe I'll see next year. I may try to hit up one of these cheap shows if they have, because you can tell it by the day. I saw Pensacola, Florida. I was like, what? What? You know, I mean, I know the Florida State's in Tallahassee. They could have a spring football game for FSU. Take it all the way from Tallahassee to Pensacola. It would get more people than the DMV. And then they have to pay. They have to pay $90. There'd be more people there at the FSU spring football game uh, than there would be for this. Oh, so no. Oh, there weren't even people scalping. Okay, so a lot of first show people. Okay, so I mean, again, if it's your first show, that's where you want to go towards the arena rock sound. Because look, my first show, I had Tim Reynolds loud in 2012, and I was like, "Yo, this is dope. This is energy." Like, oh, but I think once you get more used to the band, you're like, all right, turn down Tim. Like, let's have some rhythm. Let's be smooth. Someone needs to take the place of Leroy in the rhythm and smoothness department. So could you hear Dave's guitar, John? Could you hear it? Like, were you able to be like, oh yeah, that's Dave's guitar. That's not Tim playing over him. That's Dave? Were you able to hear him in the mix as far as his guitar? That's the real question. Okay, so you said one was during stay. What was the other one? So you said stay. Oh, Boa. Oh man. So what happened? Did it cut off completely? Like, could you not hear it? Did it like shut off, or did? Oh, it just died. Oh, did they try to replace it now? Did they try to get the? Did they just have the tech come on stage with a new rock bridge? Okay, so hopefully they get that fixed because Jazz Fest they ain't gonna be, you know. And when they get down to the weekend in Beale Street, they're gonna be like, huh? Okay, so hopefully maybe it's an arena thing. Oh, he fumbled the lyrics. Oh, but hey, the best stuff when Dave makes mistakes, he's better when he makes mistakes. Okay, he fumbled funny, yeah. He's better when he messes up the lyrics. I remember Drunken Soldier, he screwed it up one time, and it's better. I don't remember how this started. Oh, that's such bad fate because it's probably gonna discourage him from playing Boa now, and that's a good song. Like that's the same thing like when Shotgun didn't get a reception in 2016 in Wichita. They never really. I don't think they played it again. So it's like, oh man, it should have happened during "Shake Me Like a Monkey." It should have been like, oh, we screwed up. The guitar doesn't work. Let's never play this again. But overall, so John says it was worth it. Definitely a different fan base there than normal. But to play Raven in that type of fan base is a good sign for the band. Okay, give us, like I said, give us Boa, give us Raven. Hey, those are two songs you didn't think you were gonna get. You probably thought you were gonna get "Don't Drink the Water," John, right? You probably thought, all right, "Don't Drink the Water," "Satellite," and the fact that you got a second. Now, how was the Gray Street? How was the second? Second song out of the gate, Gray Street. Was it just the standard, or was it good? Was it better in the second spot than the encore? Standard. Okay, but still, to get it second, I think is a special thing there. Yeah, let's see. But nothing but Raven stood out. Okay, so everything else was more standard, and that's expected. And someone on DMB Family was saying like, "Hey man, they should have this stuff together. They should practice. They should practice." And like, no, no, no. The band has to get in a rhythm in the game. It's just like basketball players. You could be practicing. Football players have great practices. The New York Giants screwed up their draft pick, which was a whole different debacle. But they said, "Oh, he looks good in practice." Of course, D3 quarterbacks look good in practice. But when you get to the real situations of being on stage with a crowd, that's how you gain experience. So the band always starts off just with standard stuff, generic stuff, and then maybe you get some stuff in the middle to the end of the tour at the destination shows: Spag, Alpine, Deer Creek, Gorge, uh, even a Hartford here and there, a Mansfield, depending on when you go. Okay, and then even on the chain we have on D&B Family, I just saw John Dix 14 minutes ago said the audience wanted everyday ants. Where you going? The most casual audience I've ever seen. Most of the people around me didn't know the majority of the songs. If they played Dreaming Tree, Halloween, and Blue Water, these people wouldn't know the difference. And that's the thing is you have to play to your base. They know the ticket sales. They know their market. The thing is with the band is as much as we complain about the sets, Dave knows where he's going. He knows what type of people are going to show up. I mean, outside of maybe being a little bit shocked of how many people creep on him in Europe, he knows these audiences. He knows what to expect, but he just does what he wants. And that's both good and bad, but it's what he wants to do. It's his band. It's not, even though Tim plays loud, it's not his band. Even though the horns try to like make as much noise as they want, like they're like those small dogs who try to bark louder than the other, even though other people are loud. It's all based on what Dave wants to do. Okay, he writes the sets. If someone's too loud, he would tell him. If he didn't want Tim to play Satellite over him, that Tim would be quiet, just like in '95. So it's Dave does what he wants, but to be fair, the band knows their crowd. They know their base. Nothing was crossed off. So I saw John Dix. You had your set list, and I saw someone else's set list online, and there's nothing crossed out. Everything that I'm seeing here was played. They just went with what they went with because the fan base was casual. You know, they scheduled Pensacola, and I think they just wanted to check out a new place. And I think they just wanted a place where a bunch of people weren't going to be following them around all day. And that's the other thing that maybe I'll get into Saturday. But again, the band doesn't like as much as they can try to fake it. When people are all over their hotel, Hartford people are camped out at their hotel. SPAC, some dude was taking a picture with every single band member, like he was a serial hunter for like the FBI couldn't have tracked the entire band down. This dude on DMV Family had pictures of everyone from the band, including like the tour manager. He was running around Saratoga Springs, stealthing in to get a picture with everyone. So I think when you start off in Pensacola, not many people are going to go to that part of Florida on purpose, except some of the hardcore fans like John that can take the time off in advance, that can get a flight from where he lives down to Pensacola. Not many hardcore fans. They got to work. They're working for the big weekends. So I think the band likes these shows where, hey, Jacksonville, same thing. They're not going to have a bunch of hardcore fans per se outside of their tour bus. Maybe one or two, but that's it. So you got to think that the band knows their sets. They know what to play in certain markets, in certain areas, and you see it. They telegraph it. And that's the thing is if you're upset with the sets, if you're mad that they're not playing like Fish, sorry, the battle is over. Okay. Spoiler, it's over. Okay. They're not going to play out the set list. Okay, they're gonna and you go to Pensacola, you go to Orange Beach, go there for a vacation, go there because you get a cheap ticket and you enjoy the just a different atmosphere. Don't go there thinking, oh, I'm gonna get Dreaming Tree. Like, no, okay. From what it sounds like, it would have not landed well. From John himself saying if they played these songs, they wouldn't know the difference. So why is the band gonna go out of its way for that? What they do now in 2019 is this: they play for the base. Festivals, cookie cutter sets, pumped up sets, arena rock sets. That's what you should do for a festival. That's how you get new fans. You draw them in, then you get them into the deeper cuts if they go to Hartford or wherever, where more a better show. And then for the big shows, the Saratogas, the Deer Creek, sure, it's not what it was like in '98 when you went there. Okay. But you're gonna get a special show if you go to Alpine, Deer Creek, SPAC. They know already what they need to do. They're gonna cross out something and feel the moment. So that's all I got for right now. Thank you, John, for your input and just offering up a lot. I appreciate you always sharing your opinions. Here, 11 more shows for John. Ooh, ooh. Oh, look, I don't think I'm doing 11 more shows. But yeah, Johnson's a good start to the tour. Again, he was there. No Brian Williams fake line. He actually was there. And I wasn't there, but just to see the set and to hear what John's saying, it just gives me hope that the tour is going to be great. You know, this is the end of the road for the band. Okay, they are in their last years, whether it's a decade, whether it's 5 years, I don't know. Let's enjoy what we can. Let's be upset now. If they put a show up and they're in Camden or they're in Hartford and they don't put a good set on. Let's call them out. Okay. But I think we got to be more realistic. And the more that I think about this, I've been complaining about sets, but the more I think about it, the more I say, look, these dudes are Michael Jordan with the Washington Wizards. All right. You just got to appreciate what you can get from a band this late in their career. Most bands play the same set every night. Do you want them to be like Mumford and Sons, which they're in there, like they're not as old as DMB. Want them to be like Mumford and Sons and play the same song 10 times and play the same set every night and play a bunch of songs no one wants to hear until the end, you know? Do you want them to be like the country shows, the Jason Aldean shows? Oh, the whole set is telegraphed and it's corny, and people are just here to get drunk and fight. Well, they're there for DB too, but like, do you want them to have a standard set? Or do you want to have the possibility that hey, you can at least go to a show and it's going to be slightly different? Sure, they're going to have their different rhythms and generic stuff. Things are even without Boyd are more predictable as far as the sound. There's the solos, what's going to come. And sometimes you didn't always know that back 10 years ago, what solo they were going to do, or even 5 years ago, what solo they were going to do. Okay. They have their set rhythm. And especially at the beginning of the tour, they're going to stay in that rhythm. You go to a Hartford, you go to a Mansfield, you go to a Saratoga Springs, you go to a Deer Creek, you're going to get something a little bit special potentially, especially. But when you go to the Deer Creeks and the Alpines, you're going to get something special. A SPAC, you're going to get something special. Hartford, the flip of a coin. Mansfield, the flip of a coin. Camden, night 2 for sure. Night 1, and maybe a generic set. But that it is what it is. That's why there's supply and demand. But the beauty is, guys, wait it out. This is going to be one of the cheapest shows of the tour. But Nashville tickets are already going up. I know, John, you said people in circles have them. I've seen other tickets on DMB Family and on Cash or Trade go up for Nashville. The seats for StubHub will go down closer to the show. Other shows on the tour will have good prices as well, closer. Okay. The Ticketmaster prices are ridiculous. They're coming back to reality. Okay. Wait it out, guys. That's all I can say. But until Saturday night stream, that's all I got. It's your boy Constable 34. Peace.